Oh, God. All right. Anyway, so Excalibur wasn't there. All right, so they opened this thing up with the heavy hitters, the big guns. Jericho, Hager, Ortiz, Santana, and Guevara, the inner circle against the stellar lineup of Jungle Boy, Dino Douche, Pockets, Trent, and Chuck Taylor, with their mascot, Marco Stunted Growth, because there were 6 of them, but he didn't count. He never counts.
Why do you call him Dino Douche?
Because didn't MJF started that, and I liked it. But about a month ago or so, he said Dino Douche.
Why wouldn't it be Dino Douche?
Wasn't Dino on the Flintstones, right?
I guess, but
Dino?
I don't know. He
was a dinosaur, but his name was Dino.
I understand, but I mean, I don't know. I think Dino Douche works better than Dino Douche. You think Dino Douche works better than Dino Douche?
Well, you say tomato, and I say tomato. Let's let the cult of Cornette decide. Vote. On Twitter, is it Dino, D-E-N-O, or Dino, D-I, or D-Y-N-O, or whatever the fuck? Or just put up a fucking pronunciation guide. Anyway.
I think it's D-I-N-O.
D-I-N-O. All right, Dino Douche. All right, Dino, the Dino Douche. How about that? They started with the 10-man tag. I wrote, I'm glad we're opening up gradually. Pockets and Hager started. So now every top guy in this company has to be devalued by interaction with the preliminary comedy act. And everybody's going, oh, but he gets such ratings. Well, so does 2 dogs fucking on the side of the road. Do you want the goddamn Pope involved in the 2 dogs fucking on the side of the road? There's levels here, people. I remember all those confrontations between Terry Funk and Cowboy Lang. The fuck? It's a gimmick. And a gimmick needs to be in the middle somewhere, and don't let it get too much attention or it'll kill your whole company. That's what they're doing. So he did his stupid hands in his pockets and his kicks, and he killed Hager's credibility, then immediately broke out into a 10-way. Then everybody went to the floor, and everybody went to the floor, and I swear to God, they're not even trying to hide this anymore. They just go to the floor and bunch up in a group to catch all the people that are about to do various flips and dives into their fucking bunch. And they just stand there and wait on it. And then they did some tricks throwing the fucking midget freak around. But they don't even try to hide they're in a cooperative bunch to catch people. And Jim Ross is making jokes about it, is how blatant it is. So they're not even trying at this point. Then they all came in and out and did moves to each other, and they never let anything register. They tagged when they wanted to. They buried referee Aubrey. They didn't have a semblance of an actual match that you could follow going on, except when Jericho worked with Trent. A little mini wrestling match broke out in the middle of this, and they beat Trent the fucking death. Every time I see Trent, they're either getting heat on him or they're fucking beating him 1, 2, 3. The only worthwhile talent in his little group, and along with Jungle Boy, the only worthwhile talent on his whole team, and he's the one that constantly gets beaten up. They went 100 miles an hour for a while, then they slowed it down and got heat on him. They got a shot of the corner with Pockets, Fuck Taylor, and Dino Douche standing there, and it looks like a fucking outlaw show at a roller rink in Clarksville, Indiana, on national television. It's just embarrassing. Taylor's the only person I've ever seen with a mud show face. He just looks like a goddamn average fuck that you would see just walking the streets anywhere. There is nothing about him that is in any way noticeable or stands out or whatever. Anyway, then the coldest, after they got the heat on Trent for a while, the coldest tag that I have seen, I've only been watching wrestling for 48 years. The coldest tag I've ever seen, Trent gave to Dino. Go back and watch this, people. Trent drops Hager with a back suplex and then stands up and then kind of turns around and staggers a little bit and flat-footed just tags Dino with not one heel not only trying to stop him, but even within 20 feet of him. There's 10 guys in there, including Chris Jericho, and nobody could set up a fucking hot tag. So Dino comes in. Dino. He's Dino. When he's Dino Douche, he's Dino. But when he's just Dino, he's Dino. He comes in and makes one of his awkward fucking comebacks with his hand nearly ready to fall off from frostbite because of that iceberg tag that was given to him. Then he goes toe-to-toe with Jake Hager, and I swear to God, his mask fell off. Or about to fall off. It fell off his face. It was hanging by the straps. And Taz said, look, his face fell off. And now they're having a horrible big man fight where Hager's green and Dino's awkward as fuck, and they're having a fucking awkward big man fight while this goof is trying to fucking hold his dinosaur face on. And then finally, Dino just had to roll out to fix his shit, and Jake Hager, the Bellator cage fighter, took a bump for one punch from Pockets. So there was that. Then everybody in the match did shit to each other in a row while Aubrey waved her arms and nobody tagged or sold. And then the finish had to be worse than the match. It just had to be because it was going that way. Sammy Guevara goes up to the top to come off on Dino, but Matt Hardy's music played and his entrance video started playing, and Aubrey, who's usually a star in these pantomime things, turned around and stared at the stage so that Matt Hardy could come from the arena. I was about to say crowd. There was from the arena on the other side and push Sammy off the top, and then Dino hit him with a finish. And Matt didn't even jump down right away. So Aubrey had to stand there extra little beat and then turn around and not see that 1, 2, 3. This was fucking brutal all the way. All the fucking way. It had the stench of grisly death on this match from the time they started. What'd you think?
I thought it sucked. I thought I was happy that the Mets were on. Jacob deGrom on the mound. I think, again, to an earlier thing with NXT, I hate guys coming in with their music playing. No one even knows Matt Hardy's music.
Well, that's why they were looking to say, who's coming?
And this is the debut, I guess, of the new Matthew Hardy. Remember that thing we talked about on the Drive-Thru?
Yes. He was supposed to be himself and drop all the gimmicks and the 3,000 years old and the teleportation. He was dressed like Matt Hardy, but he spoke words off microphone in response to, he was yelling at Sammy, but we never heard from him. He did one thing. He pushed a guy off the top rope.
You know who is really looking forward to that Sammy Guevara-Matt Hardy feud? Nobody. Nobody at all.
Mr. Nobody.
Mr. Nobody. I thought it was hysterical when Luchasaurus's mask fell off. Taz, I'm conflicted because I really, really like Taz on commentary. I really, really like him on commentary. I was conflicted with him doing it and also having his own heel stable later in the show. Not that you didn't do commentary when you were a heel manager, but I don't know. It felt a little weird to me. But with that said, I thought he was one of the highlights of the show, actually.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I was about it. He's so good at it that I'm willing to fucking that's the smallest of their problems. If there's just a conflict of interest between the heel manager being a color guy also, and, he navigated it well. That's the least of their issues. Anybody that can do anything good on this program, let them do it.
And then just like that group hug clip of Orange Cassidy with the Jurassic Express and the best friends. It's just, I hate this shit.
Everybody's got to hug.
It's so stupid. Hated this match. I hate everyone involved with the match.
Hello, Jim. How are you, JC, Mr. Cornette? I'm laughing. I have to laugh.
I know you are.
That's what they want.
They've started so many shows with good matches, or at least hot matches. And then it was just this garbage, and I felt bad for Aubrey, because there's nothing she could do with all this shit going on. And no, I really didn't like this. I really thought this was overall just an awful episode of AEW, although it had a few moments, but this was a terrible way to begin a terrible night of wrestling.
Well, I'm glad you've held out hope that it's going to get better.